Good afternoon. Today we have called this briefing about the oncoming weather, all right, the extreme cold that will affect our area as we get um, information from the National Weather Service Station and our team here gathers that information and get it out. Today is about getting out the information you need so that you know. I've already signed a state of emergency for Chatham County, and then the municipalities will come and do the same. And so, in preparation for what is to come, right? And our major concerns are honestly in twofold. Number one, for everybody, our concern is the ice that's coming, all right, that may form and how long it's going to be and what the hazards are for that. And the other part of that is we're preparing for those citizens who are homeless and how we protect them in warming stations. And so we'll be working through this. And let me say this now, this is a work in progress, right? There are no definites because we cannot control the weather, but we are trying to be prepared for what is to come and what will come. If it gets here, we prepare for it. We've got people in place. We hope that the citizens will take us to heart when we ask them to hunker down and stay in place. We don't know what the power outages will be, but we will have folks Dennis will speak for the comments from Georgia Power, all right? So we can't predict these things ahead of time, but one thing we can say, and we do know, the storm started in the northern states and moving this way. And just like they predict what was going to happen in the northern state, it is definitely happening that way. All right, so with that, let me call Director Jones, all right, who will come and then we will follow him to suit.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So following my remarks, we will have other municipalities and other partners who would like to say a few comments. So I will be followed by the City of Savannah, and then the City of Pooler, the City of Port Wentworth, Board of Education, and then Chatham Area Transit. So as the chairman mentioned, the weather that we have seen throughout the northern states is actually coming this way. It's actually here, so it's been pretty cold today. It's going to get even colder tonight. And as we go over the next few days, we're going to see some precipitation in the form of either rain, freezing rain, sleet, and or snow occurring throughout the region, and especially here in Chatham County. The National Weather Service, their confidence is very high that we can see accumulating snow and or freezing rain, and much of that will impact Chatham County and southeast Georgia. Currently, we are under a cold weather advisory, and just as we were about to break from the green room and come in here, I was notified that the winter storm watch has been upgraded to a winter storm warning for Chatham County, and that actually goes into effect tomorrow and will last through noon on Wednesday. The timing of the precipitation is what is significant for us. For the last few days, we've been under cold weather temperatures, but it's been dry. So now we're looking at that freezing rain, that sleet, that snow coming in, and that compounds a lot of problems throughout the county, especially when it comes to traffic and also public safety. So we want to make sure that we are really paying attention to the timing of the precipitation as it starts to come into Chatham County, and we're taking proactive measures in order to mitigate as much as possible the threat associated with that. So the timing, the greatest impacts remain late Tuesday afternoon and then going through early Wednesday morning. So we are looking at between 4 and 7 is when the precipitation is anticipated to begin. It will continue throughout the night, and it should subside sometime during the morning Wednesday. So we are looking at extremely cold temperatures, of course, overnight Tuesday. And with that precipitation comes the opportunity for black ice to form. Also, it has an opportunity for the accumulation of any snowfall to occur throughout the county as well. We are looking at near record low temperatures, as I mentioned, Wednesday night, and also dangerous wind chills. We are looking at wind chills into the teens, and possibly in some cases it could get as low as a single digit. So these are near record low temperatures for our area for Wednesday night. So we want to make sure that we are monitoring that very, very carefully. So most likely, I'd mentioned about the rainfall between 4 and 7 is what the National Weather Service is anticipating that it could start for us and then gradually increase throughout the night. There is a possibility that we could see 1 to 2 inches of snowfall in our area, and that actually be accumulated snowfall. Quarter inch of ice along the coast, immediately along the coast. And then I mentioned that black ice or that refreeze of any precipitation that lingers around into Wednesday night. So it could pose a significant hazard to any suspension bridges or any bridges that go over water. So we want to make sure that we are paying particular attention to people and pets and property. So winter storm can create a high risk for car accidents, hypothermia, frostbite, and of course carbon monoxide poisoning. So we want to make sure that we are focused on ensuring that we are communicating messages about those significant threats to people. So the wind chills and the snow and freezing rain make this a dangerous weather event. So we encourage people to stay indoors as much as possible. If you are required to be outdoors, we encourage you to dress in layers. Having on multiple layers will actually keep you warmer than having on a single really heavy jacket. So dress in multiple layers. You want to protect any exposed skin, your head, your hands, your neck. Wear a scarf, wear a hat, wear some gloves. Any exposed skin, especially when it gets really, really cold and the wind chills dip down into the teens, you have the potential to have hypothermia or even get frostbite. So you want to be very cautious about that. Check on your neighbors and your friends and your family members, especially those who are elderly. They are more susceptible than cold weather temperatures than a lot of others. So really check on them regularly, making sure that they are okay. Protect your pets, bring them indoors. If it's cold outside for us, it's cold outside for them as well. Stay off the roads if possible. Flurries can create a driving hazard in the south, so we want to make sure that we are staying off the roads unless it's absolutely necessary. If you do have to drive in freezing rain or snow, just be very, very cautious, be very, very intentional in your actions. And again, if you can avoid that, please avoid that at all possible. If you have exposed pipes outside, go ahead and make plans to drip those pipes. We don't want any infrastructure damage to your property because of the freezing water inside your pipes, so go ahead and drip those. If we do have power outages, a lot of people tend to use space heaters. They tend to use generators. Some people turn on their gas stove in order to warm their house. Please don't turn on your gas stove to warm your house. It does create carbon monoxide. Don't run a generator inside your home. If you're running a generator, please keep it outside. If you have any space heaters, again, make sure that you don't leave those unattended. You want to pay particular attention to the safety around those particular items. As the chairman mentioned, he did sign a local state of emergency that will become effective at noon tomorrow, and it will last until Friday, just so if there is anything that occurs Thursday or Friday morning that we have to deal with, we have an emergency declaration that's still in place and allows us the flexibility to do that. County offices will be closed at noon tomorrow, and they will remain closed on Wednesday, and the county will reassess on Wednesday what the operational tempo looks like for Thursday morning or Thursday. So again, the county will be closed at noon tomorrow. The municipalities here joining me today, they can speak to their operational tempo as they come up to the podium. We will be activating the Emergency Operations Center. We'll be doing a level 2 activation of the EOC starting at noon tomorrow to coincide with the state of emergency. We'll be operating 24 hours, so we'll continue to keep the EOC operational until at least Thursday morning. We've been coordinating with all of our emergency management partners across the county already, all of our stakeholders across the county. We've been holding conference calls. We've been sending preparedness briefs out. I've been communicating with the command policy group. Many of those are standing with me today, and just making sure that we are in lockstep as far as any decision making for the county goes. So we've also been reaching out to the public through our Public Information Office, making sure that we are communicating messages, preparing people as much as possible, and ensuring that we have that one voice in our communication. So for this event, we do have several warming centers that are open. Thankful for the City of Savannah and Port Wentworth for agreeing to open up warming centers, and the town of Thunderbolt and Tybee Island have agreed to open up warming centers if needed. I have not asked them to do that as of yet, but the City of Savannah and some other local partners, as well as Port Wentworth, will be opening, or has opened and will be opening, warming centers. So those are at the Tompkins Regional Center at Ogeechee Road. Union Mission, one of our partners, has opened up a warming center for men only. Old Savannah City Mission, men only, come as you are. Union Mission Grace House Day Center, and Port Wentworth will also open up a rec center, and Port Wentworth can talk about that in just a few moments. So we have been in contact, regular contact with the Homeless Authority Executive Director. We've been ensuring that she has all of her needs met, and she has assured us that as of right now, as of this morning, that she has no unmet needs. If there are any unmet needs from the Homeless Authority that need to be addressed, she will get in touch with me and we will address those as quickly as we can. We already have resources in place. They are positioned in an appropriate manner so that they can support the Homeless Authority at a moment's notice if needed. But right now there is no current need, but we are ready to support that should the need arise. Georgia Department of Transportation, we've been in contact with them regularly. They have already started brining operations in Chatham County. This is a statewide event for Georgia Department of Transportation, so their resources are stretched thin because they have to react to the entire state. So their focus is going to be on those primary arteries, those primary routes that get into and out of Chatham County. Of course, the interstates are going to be a primary concern of theirs as well. And again, they've already started brining operations along those major arteries. Local municipalities, they all stand ready. They have contracts in place. Their municipal staff are ready to respond as well. Chatham Area Transit is here, and Ms. Cutter will talk about her operational tempo in just a few moments. I've got a prepared statement from the Savannah Airport. So the airport intends to remain operational, treating runways, taxiways, and roadways as needed. The airlines, however, may make independent decisions that impact flight operations depending on the conditions. As of now, there have been no cancellations at the airport. However, passengers should contact their carrier if they have any questions. We've also been in regular contact with Georgia Power. Unfortunately, they weren't able to be here today, but he did ask me to pass along that they have been closely monitoring the forecast for possible impacts to their service area from the approaching winter storm. The accumulation of ice on trees and equipment is a primary concern. Georgia Power and contract resources are staged in the area, and they will be ready to respond as needed. Customers are encouraged to subscribe to Georgia Power Outage Alert Service by visiting www.georgiapower.com/storm. Currently, there are no scheduled closings of any bridges. We do not plan on closing any bridges. However, if the conditions warrant that a bridge needs to be closed, public safety, your police, your fire, they can make that decision in real time. So if there is a bridge that is unsafe, law enforcement typically can make that decision in real time. Georgia Power can also do a preemptive closure of that bridge if they think that it's necessary. But right now, there are no planned bridge closures. Power outages, again, snow and ice. If we have a large accumulation of snow and ice, that's going to be a significant issue on our power lines. Georgia Power is ready to react to that. We do have Board of Education here, Dr. Watts. She will speak on the Savannah-Chatham County Public School System. And that is all that I have right now. And we'll take any questions after everyone has an opportunity to speak. So with that, we'll follow the run of show, and we'll call up City of Savannah.
Thank you, Dennis. Van Johnson, representing the City of Savannah, have Jay Melder, our city manager, here with us. On a quick note, Savannah just finished hosting a remarkable Martin Luther King Jr. Day parade. A lot of people out on the streets right now enjoying a spectacular day. And fortunately, no incidents to speak of, and we're out monitoring the after celebrations. And that's going to be the challenge for us for the next couple of hours. As for us, I'm issuing a state of emergency effective at noon tomorrow, consistent with our partners as a precautionary measure to allow us the flexibility to make moves as we need to. City offices will close, administrative offices will close at noon tomorrow, and they will remain closed all day on Wednesday, and we will determine our situational, our actual situation, and then make a determination for Thursday. Our emergency services will remain fully staffed and fully open. Dennis talked a little bit about the warming centers, and we're certainly glad to participate also with our partners in making sure that people are able to be warm. Our reality is this: we can do hurricanes and tropical storms all right. We don't do cold and we don't do ice well. And over the next couple of hours, we're going to get both. It is a different animal. It is something that we are not prepared for. I do remember fondly January 3rd, 2018, when it snowed and we stayed closed for 3 days. We don't know what this is going to bring for us. And so our words to our residents is, if you don't have to go outside, don't. Stay home, watch Netflix, make some soup, enjoy your family. The schools are closed, and let's find ways just to hunker down and make it past about this time. We are working also with our partners, the Homeless Authority. We believe that our roofless neighbors should have shelter, and so they are making contact with every individual that we can to determine if they want shelter. We will make sure to provide it for them. We urge our residents to call 311. 311 is the number to call to access all city services except for emergencies, particularly roadways, down trees, water lines. We also remember your pipes and your pets and your fur babies, making sure that they are okay. And it's been said before, and you will hear again, we are our brother's keeper, and there's a responsibility for us to make sure we check on those that may be suffering added anxiety because of this coming hours. We are a strong community. We've dealt with a bunch of stuff, and now we'll deal with this. But we'll deal with it together, and we certainly are around to help and assist as we need to. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor Williams from the City of Pooler, and I have with me our City Manager, Keith Floyd. The City of Pooler has been preparing for this event since Wednesday of last week, and I am here to emphasize that we are prepared. However, please understand that this event will likely cause travel interruptions, and we strongly encourage our residents to stay off the roads if all possible and avoid unnecessary travel. I also urge all residents to have a plan in place, especially if you lose power, which is a big possibility. Take precautions now to ensure that you have a good supply of your medicines and foods that you can prepare without power, and don't hesitate to reach out to the city for assistance if needed. In light of the anticipated conditions, I will be issuing an emergency declaration to ensure that we are able to respond quickly and effectively if necessary, and that will be effective at noon tomorrow. Along with that, we are canceling our scheduled City Council meeting, which is scheduled for tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. All those agenda items will be carried forward to the next council meeting. I'm not one to over exaggerate conditions. I've lived in Germany for a long time. A lot of people know how to drive in snow. This is not what we're expecting. We're not expecting a huge snow event. We're expecting the ice. And so that's why we're all here today, to protect you and to keep you safe. So I'm going to have my city manager come up and talk about what we're doing operationally to keep you safe. But I will reemphasize, if you know any seniors, call them, check on them. I will be calling everyone I know. I will be going by my senior facilities, making sure that they have power. Please bring in your pets. They have fur, but they are not equipped, and they are not used to being in this type of cold. Please bring them in. I would hate for anybody to have that happen to them. So I reemphasize everything that's been said here before. I appreciate everybody, all the cities and CEMA working together. You have a great, great county under our Chairman Ellis's leadership, and Dennis Jones with CEMA, and all of the mayors, and the school board, everybody. So I just am in awe of the cooperation that we all share, and we're going to get through this because we are prepared.
Yes, so good afternoon. Thank you, Mayor Williams. For the city of Pooler, as we monitor the forecast for this winter weather event, again, as the mayor said, I want to assure everyone that our city is fully prepared. Our staff are ready to begin salting and sanding operations tomorrow at midday, with a primary focus on our high priority areas, especially bridges, which are the first to freeze. We ask our residents and anyone traveling to be patient with our teams as they work on the roadways. In addition, we have critical workforce staff members that will be out assessing road conditions as soon as it is safe to do so. These teams will evaluate the roads and report back to our contractors and staff to make sure that we monitor all conditions. In preparation for the cold temperatures, we are advising residents to remove the water from their sprinklers. It's important for two reasons. The first, we don't want running water on our roadways. Sometimes sprinklers go off and they freeze our roadways. Secondly, we don't want you to have a water emergency at your home. We're also keeping a close eye on potential power outages, and we'll be monitoring Georgia Power's website, as well as staying in close contact with our EOC. We are continually assessing our capabilities with the city of Pooler for backup power, and we will be prepared to help our residents as necessary. So those are the operational overviews for the city of Pooler. Thank you.
Steve Davis, City Manager in Port Wentworth. I share all of the things that have been shared here with the need for the preparations for this storm. Our operational tempo is we will monitor, or we will follow what the county is doing, where we'll be half day tomorrow and a full day on Wednesday. However, our municipal court will proceed as planned all day tomorrow. Our senior center will be closed half day and mirror the city tomorrow and Wednesday. We will have the warming center at the PB Edwards Gym, and that will be it'll start tomorrow at 5 p.m., and that's 102 Aberfeldy Road. And we're canceling all athletic sports inside and outside since we're using the gym. So that is our operational tempo, and obviously we appreciate all of the things that the county and CEMA is doing, as well as our partners with the state and the state DOT, because Port Wentworth has numerous state highways that run through it, and bridges that impact that, at the Houlihan, as well as 2195, Monteith, and Highway 30 all have significant bridges that'll be impacted by this ice storm. So please be very, very careful. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It's exciting to be here on this MLK Day. However, we are preparing for an unforeseen yet somewhat predictable winter storm. You've already heard about all the hazardous road conditions, the potential for cold weather that puts us all at risk. Out of abundance of caution, our school district will not be having in-person learning or working Tuesday, January 21st, Wednesday, January 22nd, or Wednesday, January 23rd. So for the next 3 days, all of our employees will be working from home, and all of our students will be working and learning from home as well. It's important to note that we transport 26,000 students across Savannah and Chatham County. Given that the weather is unpredictable, the timing and the significance, having our buses out on the roadways early in the morning into late into the evening pose significant challenges for us. So we are erring out of abundance of caution not to put our employees or our students on our roadways over the next 3 days. Students, please keep in mind, and parents, our students will learn from home and engage in asynchronous activities which are available online, or your teachers have provided those through print-based assignments. These tasks should require your child to work pretty much about 2 to 3 hours tomorrow with some assistance, maybe a little bit longer, and technology can be used if permitted. If there is an issue with electricity, please, please, please contact your schools. We will make provisions for your child to make up work on these particular 3 days. So with that, please follow us at sccpss.com for the most updated information. What you see behind me is a true example of Together We Can. Most of the community has heard me say that. The collaboration, cooperation, and communication from this team has been amazing, and I wanted to just publicly acknowledge and thank you.
Good afternoon, Stephanie Cutter, Chatham Area Transit Authority. Chatham Area Transit Authority will continue to monitor winter storm updates for changes in an effort to better plan for the safety of employees and the public at large. We stand by ready to assist in the transportation of homeless population and ask that CEMA notify us by 10 a.m. Tuesday morning so that we can respond and bring our buses off the streets in a safe manner. Bus service is tentatively scheduled to cease between 11 and noon on tomorrow and will resume service if weather permits on Thursday morning at 5 a.m. Administrative offices will close tomorrow at noon and will reopen on Thursday morning at 8 a.m. if weather permits. Outreach to agency providing life-sustaining services, primarily dialysis agencies, and to our paratransit customers, confirming planned operations, and to ensure that our paratransit customers are rescheduled to get to dialysis as soon as possible. All emergency planning for CAT is being guided by updates through CEMA, and we are putting the safety of the public and our employees first. Thank you.
All right, you've heard from everyone as to how we are planning to carry out throughout this storm. There's uncertainty here, so we don't have crystal balls that can tell us exactly what time and where, but we're asking the general public, we're asking all of Chatham County to please work with us as we work through what is going on. It's no different than when we worked through Debbie or when we worked through Helene. And so we're asking you now, all communications will go through Director Jones in the EOC Center, all right? And then if he needs any update from any one of the mayors or myself, then we will get that. But we ask that you direct your questions and all your concerns, and we ask the citizens to do the same thing. As Mayor Johnson said, call 911. Call 311. Don't call 911 if it's not an emergency. All right, we have enough backlog there as it is. But call 311, and even 311 can get in touch with the EOC Center and can get in touch with services in other jurisdictions. So that's we'll take any questions now that you all may have from the news media. No questions? Yes, ma'am. Say it again.
No, ma'am, we were just going to follow the county's state of emergency.
Right. All the municipalities are going to do the same, all right? When we say there's a state of emergency from Chatham County from here, it covers all those municipalities, and then they have the right to establish their own. So even if you didn't hear any of them say it, let me say to you, Tybee, Thunderbolt, Bloomingdale, Port Wentworth, Garden City, Vernonburg, all will be under state of emergency because the weather's going to affect the whole county. All right, it's not going to pick somebody out and say we're not going to bother you, but it's going to affect the whole county. Any other questions? All right, if not, thank you all for being here, and we hope that we get the word out. Let us be safe in the midst of this, all right? Don't think this storm will be like any other because it's like your finger, it's like your hand. Each finger has its own fingerprint, so each storm will have its own fingerprint. And so we want to be ready to protect all of the citizens in Chatham County. right, in every area of Chatham County. And so that's why you see the Command Policy Group come together to work out the strategies. They're working together to cover, DOT is working together to cover the roads and bridges. And so it's not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when the ice and then get here. And so let us be prepared now. So if that means to you hunkering in place and staying at home, please, ma'am, please, sir, stay in place, all right, so that we can come on the other side of the storm. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for attending. God bless you.